Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.
What is up, lady?
Show me some.
How are you? Look at this. All right, hold on. So we're going to talk about this sweatshirt for 2 seconds. Talk to me. What went through our mind when we were picking out the smiley face?
So our guest, I was always so happy and like smiling and very eccentric as well with his outfit choices. So I saw it and I was like, I'm totally wearing it. I'm totally wearing this. And if you're listening to this on like Spotify, you're gonna have to go over to YouTube, look at what the sweater is, because it's happy. It's a happy sweater.
It's very happy, and it definitely matches his personality. And I would use the word eccentric for his outfits. Like, I think probably one of the best dressed people I know.
Absolutely. And we have matching bubble crocs. Actually, his are a different color, but that's okay.
I picked on him for his watch at one point. I'm like, man, you got these shoes that are worth X amount of dollars. I'm like, you got this suit that's worth X amount of dollars. You got, I don't know, I think he had like some sort of belt on that was awesome too. I'm like, this, and then I'm like, you got that watch. And he's like, my wife bought me this watch. Or no, I think your wife jumped him and said, I bought him the watch. And I felt like a big piece of crap after that. So I will not comment on his watch anymore. I'm going to backtrack from it. And again, we're loving the glasses. We're staying really close to this pink too, by the way. Yes. We're staying really close to that color. Man, this guest that we have on today is like, we are so blessed and so grateful for the quality and caliber of people that are so willing to jump in and just pour into the community that Miranda and I have been so I don't know, I guess graciously awarded, if that would be the appropriate word, because our following is just, it's getting insane, Mer, and we're grateful. But this dude is a giant in our industry. He's no longer number one for the year, but he was he was number one in the entire company last year. I don't know how many agency owners he has, and what that basically means is that he has led I don't know, 75, 80, 85, 90. Again, I don't even know, 100 different people to just earn passive income and really live a life of that financial freedom. You know, it's like, how cool, I ask this question all the time, but like, how cool would it be is that you could wake up every day and know that your mortgage is taken care of, know that your grocery bill is taken care of, know that your car payment's taken care of. And this gentleman has led, you know, well over 100 people to that type of lifestyle. So
what's the number?
Yeah,
96.
Okay, so I was close.
Very close.
I said 50, 60, and then I ramped it up there pretty quickly. Started to do the math a little bit in my head, but man,
it's a little under the weather today. So.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I still got this like sinus deal. But man, what was the number, Miranda? $57 million in annual premium volume. Like, what does your average State Farm do? Like 500,000, 700,000 in production. So like you own like 1,000 State Farms. Is that how it would be? But
never thought of it like that.
But we are so grateful for you for coming on here, for your time. I needed to start our timer, Miranda, and I didn't do that. Hopefully you did. But so grateful to have the one, the only Edward Pritchett join us. Edward, what is up, dude?
I am excited to be on here with you, Miranda, who I have admired your tenacity and your capabilities in this industry for many years now. And John, same thing goes for you, brother. Just the what you guys do on a regular basis, what I saw you guys do as you came into this industry, what you applied, the very specific strategic tactics that you were able to put towards, you know, I know how to sell in other places. What does that look like here? And then pass that on to start developing leaders as well, people who can train others how to do it. And that's where this thing gets bananas, right? It's like when you can actually empower, and that's what you guys are doing right now with this podcast. I use this podcast on my training calls with my team right now. I was telling you guys about that. when you can start empowering others to do that, to be able to train others to do what we're talking about here in sales, man, those are the people who just, you know, they live a different lifestyle. That's for sure. So honored to be on here with you both, and happy to be able to, and hope I can share good stuff.
Miranda, how good of a feeling is that to hear that last year's #1 agent in all of Symmetry, #1 agency in all of Symmetry, is using our podcast to help train his organization? Like, that makes me feel good.
That is really cool. That's like
really
such an honor. That is so cool.
It is.
Maybe we will get more followers because of this sweater now as well, Edward. Like,
I'll follow again if I can.
so, I actually think that one of the episodes that I heard a lot about is when I sang at the beginning of it. That was God told me not to sing, and then I sang. So Edward to sing. He can actually dance really good. That's something you don't know about Edward Pritchett. He'll bust
He is 100%. He's a good dancer. He's a good dancer. You're a good singer, but we're gonna keep those dancing away from this podcast, okay? So let's get down to the nitty-gritty, girl. Let's jump in here, Edward, and because the people don't want to hear Miranda and I bantering back and forth. They hear that enough. Let's get into your brain. So I want to kickstart it this way, okay? Because I think that this is one of the most important things that that we can kind of really dive into. Is I feel like when it comes to presenting, and I want to hear what your brain is, but like, what is the most important thing when it comes to, let's say, your sales presentation? Because you're no slouch either. Like, dude, you write $30,000-$40,000 a month, $50,000 a month to this day, running a 50-something-odd million dollar organization and still writing $50,000. Like, when is enough, you know, from money? But that's another topic for another day. But seriously though, like what do you think in that sales presentation that, like, if I didn't have this, I don't think I would be doing as well as I'm doing? Or like, I know for a fact that if I didn't do this part of the presentation, there ain't no way in hell I'm helping out 70+% of the people or 80+% of the people. Do you have anything like that I kind of triggered in your brain that you could kind of pour out, or do I need to kind of keep asking there?
No, I think it's a great question, because it leads to, we all have our sweet spots, right? You know, like if you're on a baseball team is made up of multiple different players, right? There's 9 different positions that you could be on. Like, you need a good catcher to be a World Series team, right? But the way a catcher plays is different than the way a pitcher plays. So, but they're all still playing baseball. And so, like, on sales teams that I've helped to create, that I work with and train, you know, I look at how people sell, and everyone has their way of being them, but the core principles, like how to play baseball, remain the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we're talking about here. And some people are good at, you know, throwing the fastball over the plate at 90 miles an hour. Some people can catch that fastball, right? I don't want to be behind the fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Me neither.
The place that has always been my sweet spot whenever I'm on a sales call is the intro. Like, it has to be that when I'm calling the lead for the first time, and I work with my agents to make sure that they're doing everything they can when they're booking that appointment, like before the sale is even made. That's where I'm locking in the sale. I get to this point now, and it's one of my resistance issues with the whole virtual side, Miranda. You know, I did it because I have to. Like, I live in Puerto Rico, and I wasn't going to fly up to Houston and fly to North Carolina and go run appointments, right? I'm not going to do that. So I had to force myself, John, to work virtually. And I started pre-pandemic because I was living down here. And I started with a very advanced market type, or a very advanced sales type in the insurance space. But I found that it was on that first phone call that, like, I started looking back, I was like, I knew I was going to sell that by the time that appointment was booked, you know, because of just digging in, having that rapport, making sure that whenever I'm calling that client, they know I'm there for them. They don't see it as a sales pitch. Like, I come across, like, I hear some people book an appointment, and you can tell that the client is gearing up for, I'm going to fight this salesperson, I'm going to win, you know?
That's me.
They're geared up for that. And here's the thing, that's fine too. Right? Like, if you book the appointment, that's still okay. You just have to know what you're getting ready to walk into. I know that the way that I go about approaching that setting of the appointment, that when I come to the call, they're bringing me what I need. We're ready to go, and all we're trying to do is find out, can I be of service to you, or if I can't, where do you need to go next? You know, so that's my niche when it comes to this sales thing, this thing we call sales, right?
Yeah.
Is that particular part of the process, booking that appointment right off the bat. That's where I'm like, I can do that. And this isn't saying, you know, there's a difference between I'm good at doing that and I love getting on the phones.
Right.
I still have that, like, I still have to overcome that. I still have to say, you know, because that, I think for most all of us, that's, you have to put some energy to say, you know what, I'm excited to get on the phone. Now, I have come up with a couple of new things that has been helping me a lot lately when it comes to getting on the phone. I kind of finally figured out after 15 years in this industry why I didn't want to get on the phones. And now that I've solved that, it's a lot easier to get on the phone.
All right, hold on. Let's dive in there, Miranda. I think this is a must. I ain't letting you get away with that one after 15 years.
That's like, you know, episode number 2. That's why I come.
All right, so we just got a commitment from Edward that we're doing a part 2. All right, so part 2 is overcoming, what would you call it, 15 years of fear?
Oh, you said that the sale, basically what you're saying is the sale starts on the phone.
Yeah.
Right? Like the sale starts on the phone. So many times people are like, what do I need to do in my client presentation? Well, let's look at the phone call, because if we didn't sound confident or, you know, whatever, like have our stuff down, our scripts, pausing all over the place, you know, we've lost them before we even assuming they even show up for the sales presentation.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I tell new agents, John, all the time. It's like, how do you want to, if you want to start fast, here's how you start fast. Get on the phone and book some appointments. Like all the stuff about that you're going to do on the appointment and some of the sales training that you guys have been given, like, yeah, you can learn that. But if I'm booking an appointment for, you know, tomorrow, like, I just need to start. I need to do something. Like, I believe that you do have to train yourself up, right? It's not that I'm saying don't ever train and don't get good at doing this, right? But I've seen people train, John, for 6 weeks. And then they come to me like, I can't pay my bills. Yeah, because you didn't do anything. Like, I'm sorry. How can I help you? Like, I'm not going to pay your bills for you. Right. You know, we have the ability to do that ourselves by let me get on the phone. Let me start making some dials. Let me be confident in the fact that I know that what I have is going to be beneficial to my client and I'm here for them, right? Like if they hear that coming from me, I don't care what your phone script is, but if they hear that coming from me whenever I'm making the phone call, then I have the opportunity to set up a time in the next 24 to 48 hours to sit down with them and go over some options for them. And now when I got that appointment booked, hey, John, I got 3 appointments. First one is this, second one is this. What should I write? What podcast do I need to go listen to learn how to sell on, you know, when I'm in the appointment? I know you don't like that, but
no. It's so funny though. I think that's why Miranda and I's partnership is like is so needed, right? Because my brain is like, just get the damn appointment, you know. It's like, just get through it as fast as you possibly can, just set the appointment. Where Miranda is of your mindset, right? Miranda believes that like that base layer, that like how they're going to follow you, the structure, like leading them right away is so vitally important, where I'm like, just get me in front of them and I got it, I'm good. And so it's like, that's the yin to the yang. And so it's crazy that was one of the things that you had said just out of the gate too, is that, you know, I think it's all done on the phone, where I never knew, Edward, I never knew whether I was going to get a sale or not until I was about 5 to 10 minutes into the presentation. I'm like, yeah, got it.
So, John, I remember there was a month when Keith flew to Fort Myers and he said, I want 10 appointments a day, set me up, let's see how much APV we could write. And I knew like which ones he was probably going to write and which ones were going to be a handful. And I remember we went to one together. But like, you know, right? Like you can tell after you get off the phone with these people if it's going to be smooth sailing. A low show rate normally means a low close rate. High show rate, high close rate. Like it goes hand in hand.
We closed that guy though. We helped him. We protected him.
It was a very interesting, I don't want to say sales experience, but yes, we helped.
We all have those. We all have those. All you gotta do is be in this industry for a couple of years. You're gonna have some interesting experience.
Okay, so it all starts on the phone. And what do you think from the perspective of the phone that, like, in your presentation, I know you kind of just tapped into a little bit, but like, what do you think that, like, kind of on the phones is something that is like your go-to, that it's like, all right, I know that every single time I'm on the phones and I'm really going through this process, that it really gives me the confidence after I receive their answer to know whether I'm booking it and whether I'm going to basically help that family or not.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's staying on, they send in the lead form, right? Whether it's digital, direct mail, telemarketing, whatever it is. And what I'm looking for is getting them to acquiesce to the fact that, yes, I sent that in and I'm looking for help. I'm looking to solve a problem, right? I'm going to spend the majority of the first part of that call, like until I get to that point, like I don't move on to other stuff until they're saying, oh yeah, I was looking for that. And, but I wasn't, no, but you were looking for it, right? And I'm just letting you know, my job as a licensed insurance professional is I'm just here to make sure that you're taken care of in the best possible way and that you have the information that you need in order to make sure that you and your family are taken care of. Is that fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. So in order to do that, let me just ask you a couple of additional questions, and then we can set a time to sit down and go over what could potentially help protect your family in a way that you may not even know that you can protect it today. Is that what you were looking for when you sent that form in? You know, like that's the important part. Is like they gotta agree that, yep, I sent that in, and here's
And
what
that's
we're
what I was
going
going to say. You won't even let them kind of like skate by it either. Like, oh yeah. No. This isn't a kind of process. This is like, I want to make sure that you understand that you did send this in, and we're going to really kind of dive into the reasons as to why you sent it in.
And that there was a like, that's what I'm looking for, is that reason. Like, yeah. That's one of the ones that I'm like, if I did keep on going, Miranda, I'm gonna sit on that appointment and they're gonna be like, yeah, I've heard about this insurance stuff. Don't worry about it. Right. Yeah. But like, I'm saying, no, hang on. You sent this form, you were concerned about something, John. Like, what was going through your head? What were you thinking about? Like, if you were sitting there on Facebook and you decided you're going to click on this link and send me a request, what were you thinking about? Did you just think about somebody? Did something, a thought cross your mind? Like, what was going on in your head whenever you sent that or click that link? Like, if it was a digital lead, or when you were talking to our agent in the call center, like, what were you thinking about? Like, when you were giving her your information, what were you hoping that I would be able to answer for you? I'm trying to tease as much of that out as I possibly can, because now that's all I stay on. Like, if that's what they were concerned about, and you can hear when someone's telling you the truth about it, or they make up some BS. Well, I was thinking about my pet frog. Okay, whatever.
Right.
Don't worry about it. I don't need to have an appointment with you. But like, if they give me that answer, then that's what we're gonna talk about.
The entire presentation is
that's all we're gonna talk about. It's all about that thing, because that's when you click the link, that's what they're interested in.
Yeah. See, and like, how many agents today are missing that due to fear, due to not wanting to have that conversation, due to the insecurity of like, I don't know what they're going to tell me, so let me just get through my actual script like a flipping robot, and then get to the end, and then I got a 50% show factor. Yeah. Because I'm not spending that extra time. I'm not being intentional by like, listen, stop, let's put on the brakes really quick. I know you want to get me off the phone. Trust me, I want to get off the phone too. But let me ask you something here really quick.
Yeah.
Full transparency, like, what was going through your mind when you clicked on that button? What was going through your mind when you filled out that form? Like, what was it? Like, just in the back of your mind, like, yeah, I know I probably need insurance. Like, but why? Like, really kind of digging into the theory of what they were thinking in that moment. That's going to help kind of propel the rest of it. That's good. That's really, really, really good, Edward. And I've never done that, but that's why I've always been kind of a crap booker, when it came to the phones. I was never really good. And so again,
that's on the record, he's a crap booker.
I was really good in front of people, not good on the phone at all.
So I love that. What happens, like you've never ever had someone tell you that they don't remember doing it, right? Like that only happens to other people, right? Never
Oh
happens
yeah,
to-
no, that happens to other people. That's never
Yeah.
happened.
But let's just pretend
I
like
get
that happened.
I get the Glengarry leads.
Let's just pretend for a moment that you did have one that didn't remember doing it. What would that sound like? Like, how would we kind of use this?
All right. Okay, John. Well, so I have here the information that I have down here. It looks like you filled out your date of birth is XYZ. Your wife's is this. This is where you guys are living.
Yeah, no, I didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. Okay. So you're saying you're not looking for any kind of coverage right now on your mortgage there at 123 ABC Lane.
I don't think so.
Okay. Huh. Guess it was your wife. Is she around?
That's cool.
You got to answer. I haven't
Yeah, I
said
know.
anything yet.
This is the same crap that she does to me too, Edward.
Yeah, no, it's just me here right now. So
Okay. Well,
Let's go play hardball, Edward.
when will your wife be back?
probably tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely give her a call back, and then until then, you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, like I would always agree with them in that moment too, Edward. I'd be like, oh, you're right. This does not look like a dude's handwriting. It looks like a girl's handwriting. Right? I'll flip it around. I'll be like, yep. No. This probably isn't your handwriting. This looks like chicken scratch like mine. Your husband have crap writing too? And normally try to get a joke out of him, to be able to pivot. But
I'm gonna pivot to the other, and then I'm gonna let them off nicely. Hang up the phone. I'll call them back later. Again, and that's the thing too, is that we got to remember in sales, I'm not trying to close 100% of the leads that I bought. I'm trying to close like I'm gonna be very successful if I close 15% of the leads that I bought. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we get too caught up in like I'm trying to close it. Like I'm not saying back off and don't push when you need to. But like that's gonna go. I'm talking to the person who remembers filling something out, and if they're gonna play games with me about remembering to fill something out, I ain't got time for that. I got other leads to call.
That's right.
And here's the thing, you're not going to only call him the one time. Like Edward's putting it back in his stack, and that's the thing. Like I will call. Like I was told that you call until they tell you take them off their list. They say it, don't like I'm not interested, or they book an appointment. There's no gray area. Like it's just you keep calling until that happens. So like if that happens, or if someone's mean, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call them back again, because they're probably gonna be like not mean next time I call them.
That's right, because maybe they're in a bad mood. Maybe they got into a fight with their spouse. Maybe they ran over a cat and it put them in a bad mood. But yes, 100% spot on. Miranda, they can go back to episode number 2 or 3. I think right? Did deflect, object, take
DOT.
That's exactly what Edward was just talking about. All right. If you want Edward to come back next week, say I, say me, or say we in the chat.
I think it's comments actually when you're on.
Oh, it might be comments, and I think you're 100% accurate. So
wherever it is, wherever you can write something.
Because we want to hear this overcoming of 15 years. 15 years on the phone and what he did to overcome it. Outside of that, Miranda, what do they got to do?
Click like, subscribe. Your favorite takeaway below.
Yeah, actually.
Love Edward. You're the best, dude. I remember my very first conference. I saw you up there and everything that you were doing, and I was like, man, it just inspired me so much. And now to see you living in Ritz-Carlton in Puerto Rico on the beach, family, it's so cool to watch your journey, man. Such an inspiration.
We upgraded the house too, didn't we, Edward? We like you did very well on that. All right, we gotta kill this episode. He's too humble. He's too humble. All right, listen, Edward Pritchett, we love you, man. We're so grateful for you, and we can't wait to see you back next week, sir. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for all the good stuff.
Yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.